Good evening, everyone. It's Mara, and it's Sharing Wellness, Promoting Health Wednesday. And January's Thyroid Awareness Month, so I thought tonight I'd talk a little bit about thyroid health. So, thyroid disorders are a big thing. There's actually 27 million Americans, 200 million worldwide that have some type of thyroid disease. 60% of these people who have a thyroid problem, or they don't even know they have it. And they say that 1 out of 8 women develop thyroid problems during their lifetime. So what does our thyroid do? Well, it's a little butterfly-shaped gland located right here, and it helps regulate our metabolism and body weight. It helps our energy levels and our sleep cycles. It plays a role in fertility and menstruation. It helps with memory and concentration. It helps regulate cholesterol, adds to the health of your skin and hair, strengthens your bone, and every cell in our body actually has little receptors for thyroid hormones. So the thyroid actually influences the health of all our organs and all our tissues. The TRH comes from the hypothalamus to the pituitary to the thyroid to the other tissues down to our cells. So it kind of just flows right on through the body. Many people are underactive thyroid or hypothyroid, and some of the symptoms for that is they don't handle the cold really well, they gain some weight, they're usually really tired, they have some mental sluggishness, poor muscle tone in the body, a low body temperature, like it's way below 98.6, rough, dry skin. Sometimes their face will be a little puffy because their body's working really slowly. And some of them may be a little weepy, sad, somewhat depressed. You may even have a little bit of constipation. Your extremities may be cold. It could be enlarged. So quite a bit of symptoms. The other end is hyperthyroid, where it's overactive, and those people tend to have trouble handling the heat. So we go from the cold to the heat. They tend to lose weight because they're super active, it's always going. They tend to be very nervous, irritable, agitated. They may notice a rapid or irregular heartbeat. They may get tired easy with some muscle weakness. They may have trouble sleeping, and sometimes their eyes bulge out. I know some of you are thinking, I have some people even in the family who I think have really bulgy eyes, and I often wonder if their thyroids are hyperactive. They also may have really fine brittle hair, or notice that they're losing some hair. They may sweat a lot or notice increased perspiration. Sometimes they have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Sometimes their hands shake. Sometimes also their thyroid's enlarged. They may always be really hungry but never gaining weight. So those are the two extremes. So how can you tell if you have hypothyroidism? We can go to the doctor and he can run tests, but if you're worried about it, some people say in the natural health world to take a testing basal temperature, which means you would just use your thermometer for measuring your body temperature. First thing in the morning before you get out of bed, so put the thermometer on the nightstand, do it 5 days in a row. And if your average temperature for 5 days is lower than like 97.8, then maybe you want to go in and have a thyroid test. Our thyroids love seaweeds and iodine, and they say one of the primary causes of low thyroid is a lack of iodine. Seafood and seaweeds used to be what people did when they had thyroid problems before medication. They gave their body more iodine, and that's found in things like seafood and seaweeds. Few people today are actually really iodine deficient, but iodine might be displaced by other things in the body like chlorine, bromine, or fluorine. And iodine can actually help detoxify these substances, and seaweeds have many of these benefits for the body besides iodine. There are iodine supplements out on the market, but like I said, most people aren't iodine deficient. But there are seaweeds like dulse, kelp, Irish moss, Lugol solution, or Iodoral, Iodoral, that may help, which are good sources of iodine. The other things your thyroid likes are lots of nutrients, some amino acids like tyrosine, selenium, zinc, copper, vitamin E, B12, D3, A. So I can't stress, you know, for basic nutrition, a multivitamin every day is really good to take. There's also some people who get like Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid disease, and it's actually an inflammatory disease of the thyroid where the immune system creates antibodies that attach to the enzyme thyroid peroxidase, and that liberates iodine, and it creates an inflammatory disease. So a lot of people with Hashimoto's may notice that they'll feel better if they heal the gut, because the gut has a lot to do with autoimmune issues of all types. Many people that have gut problems also find it beneficial to eliminate gluten and dairy. And they also may want some herbs that support a healthy immune system, healthy adrenals, like ashwagandha, astragalus. Definitely use thyroid medication and natural thyroid medication if it's necessary. So those are things that you can do for your thyroid. There's also Graves' disease, which is on the kind of the autoimmune disease for the hyperthyroid side. Hashimoto's is for the hypo. So the overactive also has Graves, and it's named after the doctor who discovered that. And the common treatment for that is to treat the thyroid with radiation. So when we look at traditional Chinese medicine, they feel that the cause of hypothyroid is a disturbance of the life force energy through the body brought upon by sorrow or anger. They also feel you have excess heat and heart fire, leading to a heart deficiency. So you're very, lots of trouble with insomnia, excessive talking, heart palpitations, very frightful. And sometimes you have extreme anger, which in traditional Chinese medicine is the liver. So if you do have hyperthyroid, they tell you to calm the thyroid function. Some herbs that they use for that are bugleweed and lemon balm. You want to make sure you maintain a healthy heart and blood pressure. You want to avoid stimulants. You don't want to continue to add stimulants to your body, and you may want to reduce your stress load. You can also focus on healing the gut, eliminating gluten and dairy, and you want to take supplements that support you for adrenals and stress, like your B vitamins, your adaptogens, things that are going to help your body cope with stress. So sometimes with hyperthyroid, the cortisol level can become elevated. You also want to look at eliminating any foods you're allergic to. And the stimulants I'm talking about are sugar, caffeine, chocolate. Those things really stimulate the body and the nervous system. And manage your stress, deep breathing, mindfulness, exercise, watching a funny movie. So all those things relate to thyroid health. So your thyroid can be hypothyroid with an autoimmune component of Hashimoto's. You could be hyperthyroid with an autoimmune of Graves, but whenever we're talking about autoimmune disease or any type of condition in the body where the body's struggling to maintain wellness, you have to focus on building health. And when you focus on building health, we're drinking clean water, we're eating good food, whole fruits, whole vegetables, lean meats, proteins. We're cutting out processed food, sugar, tons of caffeine, tons of stimulants. We're eating whole grains, healthy fats. We're focusing on gut health. We're eating fermented foods to promote the probiotics. We're making sure our food's getting digested by maybe adding a digestive enzyme. We're going to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to manage our stress and keep our emotions balanced, to make sure that we sleep good, we take time for ourselves, and prioritize our day. All those things are going to keep you healthy no matter what ailments you're trying to deal with. You still need the same foundation. It's like a chair. It has 4 legs for a reason, so when you sit on it, you don't topple. And it's the same way with the body. So exercise, eat good food, drink water. It's all the healthy habits. And remember, I opened up the Healthy Habits Challenge for free. That's a permanent thing. Just go to my website. I'll put the link in the comment and enroll in that program because it's the basics for health. It's the 8 key things that I focused on to turn my health around, and I know that you'll benefit from doing the same for you. So that's thyroid health. So take care of your thyroid. It has a huge job, and we'll see you next week.